In a galaxy fraught with fragile alliances and tense relations, the coalition of allied systems and the Dominion, two of the most powerful factions, find themselves on the verge of an all-out war. Decades of simmering tension have culminated in a standoff that neither side is willing to de-escalate. The galaxy's peace, built on treaties held together by tentative trust, seems ready to shatter. Humanity, a relatively new member of the interstellar community, has managed to remain neutral up to this point. Known more for their diplomacy and trade relations than for any show of force, humans are regarded by the galaxy's older species as mysterious and cautious. They've established themselves as valuable allies in technological exchange and mediation, but they've stayed distant from direct involvement in conflicts. Evelyn Carter, humanity's most respected diplomat, stands quietly among the delegates at the summit. Known for her skillful negotiation tactics and an unwavering calm, she's seen as the epitome of human diplomacy. The other delegates are used to Carter's level-headedness, her neutrality, and her sharp but tactful responses. But this meeting feels different. Even Evelyn senses the tension hanging in the air. The Dominion's representatives are brimming with a smugness that belies their aggressive intentions, while the coalition leaders exchange wary glances, each struggling with the implications of the Dominion's recent moves. Then, the Dominion's lead representative, a towering figure known for his fierce arrogance, steps forward. His words are loaded with menace, thinly veiled behind diplomatic phrasing. He hints at a new weapon, something developed in secret, capable of planet-wide devastation. A weapon, he implies, that will soon be aimed at those who dare to oppose Dominion expansion. The threat hangs over the room, and coalition leaders find themselves divided, struggling to agree on a response. Some argue for appeasement, fearing a conflict they aren't ready for, while others insist that they can't afford to back down without losing face and control over their territories. The coalition representatives steal anxious glances at Carter. Humanity's role has always been to advocate for peace, but the coalition's leaders are starting to realize they may need human support in ways they hadn't expected. In the past, humanity's quiet strength and diplomatic strategies have often diffused rising tensions, yet now the coalition members are uncertain if the humans' cautious approach will suffice against an enemy ready for war. As the summit drags on, Evelyn listens intently, observing the desperation among her coalition allies and the Dominion's growing sense of superiority. It's a game of patience, one the humans have mastered, but Evelyn knows that neutrality won't hold forever. The Dominion sees humanity as weak, as mere mediators without the will to step into the fray. That perception may serve humanity's purpose for now, but she's aware that at any moment, they might be called upon to choose a side. The coalition's leaders gather among themselves, debating quietly yet urgently about their options. They know that a full-scale war with the Dominion could mean disaster for their people. But backing down could mean the end of their influence, maybe even their independence. Each of them, in turn, casts a look toward Evelyn, as if hoping she'll provide an answer, an assurance that humans won't abandon them in their hour of need. Evelyn remains silent, her face revealing nothing of the deliberation happening in her mind. She's already calculating the stakes, weighing the risks humanity would face by stepping into this conflict. Aware of the Dominion's strength, she realizes that a declaration from humanity would alter the balance of power in ways none of the delegates can yet fully understand. Then, in a final attempt to intimidate, the Dominion representative speaks again, his tone dripping with scorn. He addresses Evelyn directly, dismissing humanity as irrelevant in the galactic order, a minor power without the courage to take a stand. His words are a challenge, an open dare, meant to corner the human diplomat into showing her hand. Evelyn Carter's gaze never wavers, and her expression remains calm as she holds the Dominion leader's gaze. For the first time, the coalition delegates sense a shift, a subtle tension radiating from their human ally. Evelyn Carter, calm and collected, watches the Dominion representative's smirk spread as his words echo around the hall. Coalition members cast her hopeful glances, some desperate for reassurance. Her neutrality had always been an anchor, a calming force amidst the chaos. But now, that neutrality is about to shift. She stands, drawing all eyes to her, and speaks clearly, cutting through the tension with a single sentence. The humans will join the war if the Dominion does not retreat. If you attack one member of the coalition, you attack us all. The silence is absolute. It's as if the entire galaxy has stopped to register her words. She doesn't flinch, doesn't waver, only lets the impact sink in as her message ripples across the assembly. Everyone in the room knows what her words imply. Humanity, long seen as neutral, passive, and even soft, has issued a direct warning. The coalition members stare in awe, their shock soon giving way to a glimmer of hope that they hadn't felt moments before. Across the hall, the Dominion representatives are taken aback. Their leader, visibly unsettled, exchanges uncertain glances with his advisors. The bluff they thought Evelyn Carter would maintain is clearly not a bluff at all. But they're still unsure, still skeptical. To them, humans are untested and unproven. They have little knowledge of humanity's military capability, much less its resilience. So they laugh, though it's forced, a shallow attempt to regain their composure. As Evelyn's words sink in, the coalition begins to sense something they've rarely felt in human presence: strength. A quiet, unyielding resolve that hadn't been apparent before. Some coalition leaders, skeptical moments ago, feel their apprehension dissolve, replaced with confidence. In Evelyn's voice, they hear a power that feels ancient, unbreakable, and ironclad. This is not a threat or an empty show of force. It's a promise of protection, a declaration that humanity will not tolerate aggression against their allies. The Dominion delegation, however, is reeling. For years, they've considered humanity little more than a minor species, valuable only for trade and diplomacy but without any real might. They had counted on humans to remain neutral, indifferent to wars that didn't directly involve them. But here was Evelyn Carter, dispelling all their assumptions with a calm assurance that humans would not stand idly by if the Dominion sought to expand through force. The whispers among the delegates grow. News spreads faster than light across systems. Evelyn's words are transmitted, broadcasted, and dissected throughout the galaxy. Some leaders in other sectors pause, rethinking their strategies and alliances. The idea of human involvement in a galactic war changes everything. For decades, humanity has been an unknown variable, operating largely in the shadows of more prominent galactic powers. They've never shown this level of assertiveness, and now the coalition understands that perhaps they have been mistaken in underestimating the humans. Evelyn doesn't offer further clarification or justification. Her message is straightforward. Humanity is prepared to stand with the coalition, ready to act against any aggression. And yet, her calm demeanor, her unshakable stance, says more than any declaration of military might ever could. This isn't bravado or an attempt to intimidate, it's a promise backed by an unknown capability. Her presence alone challenges everything the Dominion thought they knew about humans. The coalition leaders, emboldened, begin to discuss their next steps. They no longer feel alone, no longer bear the weight of facing the Dominion alone. They recognize, with newfound conviction, that humanity's support changes the stakes. They had sought only for Evelyn to confirm support or assure neutrality, but her stance offers something they hadn't expected, a real chance to push back against the Dominion. The Dominion representatives withdraw, hiding their unease behind expressions of arrogance and disdain, but Evelyn knows the truth. She sees through their facade, aware that the Dominion's initial shock has given way to a deep-seated uncertainty. They may outwardly dismiss her warning, but they're not blind to its implications. Humanity's involvement is a variable they hadn't accounted for, and now, they're left questioning what exactly they're up against. The coalition delegation begins to depart, visibly more at ease than when the summit began. Coalition leaders, for the first time in years, discuss strategies with an optimism they hadn't thought possible. They speak to each other with renewed energy, eager to unite their resources with humanity's. Evelyn's words have given them a sense of purpose, a resolve they had nearly lost under the Dominion's looming threat. As the meeting adjourns, Evelyn's calm and collected expression remains unchanged. She knows that the words she spoke have already begun to shift the galaxy's power balance. The Dominion won't act recklessly now, not when humanity's intentions have been made clear. She also knows that this declaration has bound humanity to the coalition's fate, a responsibility she doesn't take lightly. But her expression betrays nothing, only a quiet certainty that the time for neutrality has passed. The Dominion's leaders retreat from the summit, dismissing humanity's warning as little more than an empty threat. They scoff, unwilling to believe that humans, upstarts in galactic history, pose any true challenge. To the Dominion, humanity is still unproven, a minor species focused on diplomacy, with no real history of war in space. Their arrogance blinds them to the significance of Evelyn Carter's words, and they leave the summit believing they still hold the upper hand. But beneath the surface, things begin to shift. Dominion intelligence, always scanning the galaxy for developments, starts to pick up troubling signals. Reports trickle in from border systems, describing human ships patrolling the edges of Coalition space, their capabilities unknown but the presence unmistakably intentional. Dominion scouts report sightings of new technologies that don't align with any known Coalition standards. Sleek and unmarked vessels move with precision, operating in coordinated formations, suggesting a level of tactical sophistication that the Dominion hadn't attributed to humanity. As these sightings increase, Dominion intelligence attempts to gather more information, but they find themselves blocked at every turn. Human operations are conducted with an impenetrable discipline, keeping their tactics and technology shrouded. The mystery surrounding human capabilities only deepens, leaving Dominion leaders feeling increasingly uneasy. Meanwhile, Coalition members begin to notice the sudden presence of human forces in their own systems. These human ships, while reserved, are undeniably powerful. Their technology is advanced, refined, and seems almost purpose-built for adaptability in unpredictable combat scenarios. Coalition leaders, who had once viewed humanity as little more than trade partners, find themselves in awe. Human ships maneuver in ways that seem to anticipate enemy movements, reacting with an agility that feels almost otherworldly. Each encounter reinforces a growing realization that humanity's silence over the years has concealed a level of military development no one could have anticipated. Joint military exercises between the Coalition and human forces are arranged, and it's here that the full extent of human strength begins to reveal itself. Coalition officers watch in awe as human soldiers demonstrate tactics that adapt fluidly, almost intuitively, to rapidly changing battle simulations. Their weapons are sleek, efficient, and unusually versatile, designed to handle various forms of combat. Training maneuvers display an eerie level of coordination, as if each unit were a part of a larger, single-minded entity. Coalition forces, hardened from years of defense but lacking offensive unity, realize they're witnessing a new standard of warfare, one that humans seem to have perfected in their years of quiet preparation. The exercises continue, and soon even the most skeptical Coalition leaders are convinced. Humanity's technology and strategy are not just advanced, they're optimized in ways that make them uniquely adaptable to galactic warfare. The Coalition leaders feel a sense of renewed hope, bolstered by this unforeseen ally whose strength has redefined their chances against the Dominion. They had previously assumed human diplomacy meant pacifism or neutrality, but now they see it was merely the surface of a much larger capability. Across the galaxy, news of humanity's military display spreads quickly, stirring whispers among systems previously aligned with the Dominion. Small but strategic factions begin to question their loyalty, recognizing that the Coalition, bolstered by human strength, may now stand a real chance against Dominion aggression. These smaller systems, often overlooked in the grander schemes of the Dominion, see an opportunity to align with a rising power, one that doesn't seek conquest but instead offers a chance at mutual protection and stability. Dominion intelligence, finally realizing the full implications, tries to infiltrate human networks to uncover more, but their attempts fail at every turn. The humans have constructed an almost impenetrable web of security, and every attempt to break through is countered. The frustration mounts, and the Dominion leadership grows increasingly anxious, unable to verify the true scale of humanity's resources. They can only speculate, but each piece of information suggests that humans may be far more formidable than they had assumed. Rumors spread that human scientists and engineers have developed technologies capable of neutralizing the Dominion's most advanced weapons. Whispers of weapons systems designed to disable starships in seconds, shield technologies resistant to known Dominion arsenals, and counterintelligence systems capable of outmaneuvering any Dominion tactic begin to circulate. Even within the Dominion's own ranks, soldiers and officers grow uneasy, their loyalty wavering as they face the prospect of a conflict with an enemy they know almost nothing about. The coalition, inspired by their new allies' strength and strategic insight, adopts new confidence in their stance. Plans are drawn up, defenses fortified, and even offensive measures are considered. Coalition leaders, who once looked to humanity for negotiation and peace, now look to them as a source of tactical leadership and resilience. Humanity has become a beacon of hope, a stabilizing force in a galaxy on the brink, transforming the coalition from a collection of disparate systems into a united front, prepared to face the Dominion with renewed determination. Within coalition ranks, soldiers and leaders alike speak of humanity with respect and a sense of wonder. The term, human resolve, becomes a phrase whispered with reverence, a symbol of the courage that has revitalized the coalition. Evelyn Carter's warning now echoes with a weight that reverberates across the galaxy, and even the Dominion begins to feel the stirrings of doubt. They are no longer certain of their superiority, nor of their ability to intimidate. Humanity, with its quiet power, has introduced an unknown factor that could tip the balance of the galaxy's future. The Dominion decides it can't afford to wait any longer. Calculating that a swift and overwhelming strike will break the coalition's resolve before human support fully integrates, they launch their assault. Massive Dominion fleets gather at the edges of coalition space, mobilizing with brutal efficiency, intent on making a decisive show of force that will push humanity's warning to the test. Coalition forces brace themselves, but this time, the anticipation is different. Human ships are interwoven among their own, forming a unified defense grid that stretches across critical systems. The coalition's forces are stronger, more coordinated, and emboldened by the strength of their human allies. When the Dominion's attack finally breaks through, they're met with a resistance that defies their expectations. The Dominion's fleet engages the coalition, expecting quick and easy victories to demoralize their forces. But human technology and tactics throw off their formations almost immediately. Dominion ships find themselves outmaneuvered by smaller, more agile human vessels that seem to anticipate their moves. Human commanders, directing fleets in synchronization with coalition leaders, execute strategies that disrupt the Dominion's carefully planned assault. What should have been a clean victory for the Dominion turns chaotic, as the humans exploit every weakness, breaking the Dominion's advance with precision and adaptability. In the heat of battle, human ships reveal their true capability. Their vessels are equipped with weaponry that outmatches Dominion technology, from energy projectiles that cut through shielding systems to countermeasures that neutralize incoming fire. The humans seem to have prepared for every possible Dominion tactic, rendering their enemies' strategies ineffective. Each Dominion attempt to break through coalition lines is met with swift retaliation, as human and coalition forces repel the assault with a cohesion that the Dominion cannot match. At the front lines, Evelyn Carter oversees the operation from a strategic command post, coordinating her allies' efforts. Her calm but decisive voice comes through on every coalition communication line, issuing orders that synchronize the fleets into an impenetrable defense. Her presence serves as a rallying point, reminding the coalition forces of humanity's promise to stand with them. Each word carries weight, reinforcing the determination that human support has ignited within the coalition. Her strategic insight brings a layer of unity and efficiency to the operation that the Dominion could never have anticipated. As the battle progresses, Dominion forces realize they're not facing the same coalition they once considered weak and fractured. The presence of human technology has transformed the coalition fleets, bolstering their defenses and sharpening their offensive capabilities. Human shield systems absorb blows that would have previously devastated coalition ships, and human artillery returns fire with unmatched precision. What was once a collection of isolated systems has become a formidable alliance, their newfound strength a direct result of humanity's influence. For the first time, Dominion commanders begin to sense fear. Reports flood in from across the battlefield, detailing unexpected losses and describing human tactics that their intelligence had failed to account for. Dominion morale wavers as their forces struggle to maintain cohesion against an enemy that seems to be everywhere at once. Coalition fighters, inspired by human resilience, push back harder, no longer just defending but launching their own offensive maneuvers, cutting through Dominion lines and forcing them into retreat. Word of the battle's outcome begins to spread. Systems aligned with the Dominion, watching from the sidelines, see the impossible happening. The Dominion's advance is faltering, their forces repelled by a coalition that, just weeks before, had seemed on the verge of collapse. The sight of human and coalition ships fighting side by side, the unwavering resilience of their joint forces, sends a message across the galaxy that the Dominion's dominance is no longer assured. Systems that had once feared Dominion retaliation now reconsider their alliances, wondering if humanity's strength could offer them protection, too. In a final desperate move, the Dominion attempts to launch a concentrated assault, targeting the heart of the coalition's defensive line, hoping to break the alliance once and for all. But they find themselves ensnared in a trap of Evelyn Carter's design. Human ships encircle the Dominion's forces, cutting off any route of retreat. Outgunned and outmaneuvered, the Dominion is forced into surrender, their fleet dismantled piece by piece as the coalition pushes them back to their own borders. When the battle ends, the coalition stands victorious. Humanity's involvement has shifted the balance of power, reshaping alliances and redefining the galaxy's future. Evelyn Carter's simple declaration at the summit, her promise that humanity would stand by the coalition, has become a new foundation of hope. In the aftermath, the coalition members acknowledge humanity not just as diplomats but as protectors, allies who have both the strength and the resolve to keep their word. The Dominion, humbled and weakened, retreats, its leaders left to contemplate the price of underestimating humanity. They had once dismissed the humans as inconsequential, a neutral presence in galactic affairs. Now, they understand that humanity's strength isn't just in its technology or its tactics, but in its commitment to stand by its allies, no matter the cost. Humanity has proven itself, not as a minor player, but as a force capable of shifting the course of galactic history. As the galaxy moves forward, humanity's reputation grows. Evelyn Carter's words echo across star systems, a reminder that strength isn't always loud or showy, it's steady, quiet, and unwavering. The coalition, fortified by its new alliance, now stands as a symbol of unity, its members ready to defend each other in the face of any threat. And humanity, once an outsider, has found its place among the stars, respected and recognized as a true ally. In the end, the galaxy understands one undeniable truth: everything changed when humanity joined the war.